Hi guys! My name is Charlotte, and I'm going to be walking you through my mini unit and then focusing upon my third lesson. The title of my mini unit and this presentation is Community Problem Solving Through Animal Features. And so I'll start with a brief overview of what they'll be doing in each lesson, and then we'll dive more deeply into the third lesson because the third lesson is the last lesson, so you can see kind of the culmination of all of the learning of the mini unit. Also, I'd like to apologize. I don't know how to do this kind of presentation while also showing videos and pictures and charts, so yeah, I apologize for that. And I apologize it's dark in here. I'm not sure why. Okay, so like I said, my mini units focuses around community problem solving through animal features. In the first lesson, the science lesson, students learn about animals and they learn about the particular features they use to help them survive. And then they think more broadly about how humans could use something similar like that, how they could use a similar feature. And then in the social studies lesson, they learn about communities and they identify problems within their community. And then they use they are introduced to the concept of voting, and they participate in a vote to identify which problem is the most important, which problem they want to work on. So they'll vote on that. And then in the final lesson, the health lesson, they determine what is healthy. They learn more about what a person needs to be healthy. And then they circle back to the science and social studies lessons, and they identify which animal feature could be used to solve the problem that they voted on. And they kind of come up with their own way that this feature could be used. And they create posters and other informational materials like letters to community leaders to advocate for their chosen solution to make their community more healthy. Okay, so I will jump in and start talking about my third lesson, which is the health lesson that I just talked about. The objectives and standards covered in this lesson are there's the Common Core standard of with guidance and support from adults, recall information from experiences or gather information from provided sources to answer a question. So with support, they're utilizing the information that they've gathered to answer their question. The Maryland Health Content Standard is to identify safety hazards in the community, so identify problems and hazards within the community. And then to demonstrate healthy practices and behaviors to maintain or improve personal health. So they're looking at problems in the community, ways in which they can be fixed through healthy actions that can be encouraged by the use of their animal feature. Anticipated learner outcomes. Essentially, my big question is, what are some problems in our community? And how can they be solved by using a special feature that an animal uses to help it survive? And the focus question, the particular question that pertains to this lesson, is what makes a community healthy and what are some special features that animals use to help them survive that we can use as humans to make our community healthier? So ideally, at the outcome of this lesson in particular, they'd be able to identify what it means to be healthy, what you need to be healthy, and then how can we use an animal's feature to make our community more healthy by solving a problem in the community? So, misconceptions I considered before creating this lesson are some students might not know what it means to be healthy. They might have misconceptions about certain things they think are healthy but are not actually healthy. And they also might have a general misconception that there are unhealthy behaviors and problems within a community that can't be fixed. And I want them to understand that those problems can be fixed and what it actually means to be healthy. My plan for correcting those misconceptions is all embedded within my lesson. We're going to explicitly teach what it means to be healthy, explicitly teach what it means, what you need to be healthy, and then we're going to show them that those problems can be changed by giving them an actual task that they can promote to community members or people in their family to solve that problem. The evaluation of students will be through the products that they produce for my summative evaluations. I'll be looking at the sentences they wrote, their illustrations, their poster, My formative evaluations will be through their participation in multiple discussions, like discussions of how are you healthy, what do you do to be healthy, what do you think people need to be healthy, and then the last discussion, how can we use this animal feature we talked about to solve the problem that we voted upon. So my planned procedures for instruction, I can kind of just go down through and give you guys kind of an idea of how this lesson would sort of roll out. I won't read you scripted because I typically script my lesson plans, and then there's always divergences from that, right? So I'm going to kind of just give you the general gist. So I use engaging tactics to get students to become focused. So often I'll like clap down like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Z, E, R, and O. And students in my class know that by the time I get to O, they should be sitting up, looking ready. If we were using materials previously, they'll do empty hands, twinkling fingers, but that's not the case in the very beginning. But so I do that to get them all settled, to get them ready, and I shout out students who are sitting up, looking ready, looking and listening. So I begin with a share. What is something you do that makes you feel healthy? And I give them an example to model first. I say, when I go running, I feel healthy. And then they can tell me different things like when I eat vegetables, I feel healthy. When I go to bed on time, I feel healthy. When I run around outside, I feel healthy. And so that kind of brings up the concept of being healthy. And then I define healthy as being healthy means taking care of your body so that you can feel good. And I talk about how we're going to be building upon what we learned in social studies about problems in the community and how those community problems lead people to be unhealthy. And how now we're going to be learning more about being healthy, and then we're going to try and solve those problems using something from the science lesson as well, the animal feature. So that was the engagement piece where students get to share, students are engaged, students get to tell me things about their life and things they already know, both of which are big tools for engagement. They like talking about their lives. They like they feel good about telling you things that they already know. And then when we get into the exploration period, we use a game on Science Kids called Healthy Growth, where through the process of the game, which we'll do collectively, they get to learn that there are certain things that people need to be healthy. You need water, exercise, rest, water, food, exercise, and rest. So through that game, they're able to learn those things that they need to be healthy, 4 identifiable things. And then I present a sentence frame on Jamboard, which is a good differentiation for learners who are struggling with writing their own sentence. And I say I have a student read to me what the sentence says. You need blank to be healthy. And then they can fill it in with the appropriate word. And essentially, I also often include pictures for my students with language difficulties, ELL students, students reading well below grade level, so that way that can jog their memory. And students who need differentiation will also have the opportunity to ask for a word bank. When they ask for a word bank, if there's a word they're struggling with, if it's easier, I'll help them tap it out. But if it's harder, I'll put it in the word bank. They can use it. So they complete that sentence frame. Early finishers or students who are reading at a higher level can also, I'm going to let them go to the USDA nutrition website, the Kids Corner, and that way they can learn about more ways to be healthy and then write more sentences about what you need or can do to be healthy. And then during the extension, students are going to think back to their science lesson and choose one way that people can use the special features of an animal to be more healthy in their communities. Again, I clap down to 0 to get attention. I'm shouting out students who are doing a great job and activating their prior knowledge. What were the animals we talked about? What were the features that those animals had, shouting out kids who remembered, shouting out kids who tried, who didn't remember but raised their hand. And then basically they're going to come up with a way that humans could use this feature to solve a problem and keep them healthy. For example, if students voted for the problem in their community that they want to solve to be homelessness, they might come up with the idea to give homeless people special coats to keep them warm, like the leopard's fur that we learned about. It's difficult to pinpoint exactly what they would choose because I don't know. It's a flexible lesson plan based on student interest and inquiry, so I don't exactly know what they would have voted upon, what was most important to them. So you can't really include in the lesson plan what they're going to be writing about or what solution they're going to be trying to come up with. In this end of this portion, they're making their poster to show their solution and to make it exciting so that way people in their community will look at it and want to apply that solution, will want to choose their solution. And early finishers or higher readers can, once they're done their poster, they can write a letter to a community leader that tells them why they should choose their particular solution and why it's good. Students who need additional support, they're going to have the sentence frame, the word bank. I'll do frequent checks for understanding. They'll have the pictures that will be able to help them generate ideas. I'll ask guiding questions to help them if they're having difficulty completing the task or having difficulty articulating what they want to say. And that's how I kind of address learners' needs. Primarily, my main modes of differentiation are tools like that. But then the crucial thing is frequent checks for understanding and just talking to the student and helping guide them to a deeper understanding and guide them through the application process. So again, I apologize I couldn't include video links or pictures, but I do think this is a really neat lesson. I would be happy to send it to anybody who would like to use it. I'm really excited to use it. I'm really glad that I did it in the hybrid format, so then it's all set up for next year. I primarily teach reading and social studies, and so that's kind of like the bent my lesson took, but next year I might be teaching science and health, so it'd be really neat to use that for all of those subjects. So I think this lesson mini unit is great to use because I think first grade students are inherently really excited about helping their community and helping others. They're also really inherently interested in animals, so it's kind of a perfect combination of those aspects, and they also know a lot about being healthy. And they often will tell me ways that they are healthy, ways that I should be healthier. I think it's kind of the perfect mini unit for first grade students. All right, well, thanks very much. I appreciate your time. And like I said, if anybody would like access to these lesson plans, just feel free to contact me. Thank you.